Hello, I'm Wanderer001 and this is my review of the Ohuhu 80% carbon fiber quick lock anti-shock trekking poles. Now, probably screwed up the company's name of this particular trekking pole, but you'll see it in the title of the video as well as its branding on the trekking poles themselves. Right now I'm showing you both the trekking poles as they come shipped, only because, well, you kind of get two in a set because they're trekking poles and not a trekking stick. I have it this way mainly to show you some of the accessories, quote unquote, that come with it. Mainly these little stays here and here. They're to keep the trekking poles together. So as you see, I'm just kind of picking up one by the leg and they're both kind of sticking together. I'll let you know right now that they are easily detached from the trekking poles themselves. However, they're also easily lost because once you take them off, as you can see, they're stuck to the one right now, but they're not actually affixed in any way. They just come right off like that, and you can kind of see how they look. So one hooks around the pole itself, the other just kind of clips on. Now, if you're not careful, you can lose these very easily. Actually, it's a miracle that I have not lost these yet because I am notorious for losing small little parts. For the time being, since this is really awkward to film something of this nature and length, I'm just going to be utilizing the one trekking pole here. So to start off, you have a set of trekking poles which is adjustable from 26 inches in its closed state here, not including any of the end caps that you may have. That's just 26 inches from the carbide tip here, not including the end cap. So adjustable from 26 inches in length to 53 inches max. Now, to do that, all you have to do is there are these little clips right there that you open up and then you can pull the pole out. Now, it does come with these nice little indicators as to the length of the pole that you're extending to. It is in centimeters, so those of you not on the metric system will have to do a little math. So wanted to pull it out a little further just so that you could see there is a stop indicator, so you don't want to go past that point. However, if you happen to, oops, like that, which is what I did the first time that I got the trekking poles, you'll notice right there, try and focus that a little bit, right there, there is a little plastic bit that slides into the hole right there, and voila, no harm, no foul. You then just clamp it down and it stays in place. I am pushing from that end as well as holding there, and you can see it's not moving. Now I will close it back down. You do get two adjustments, so it is, as I said before, adjustable to 53 inches in length, which makes it very nice, so you can make it longer when you need it longer, make it shorter when you don't need it that long. Now, if for whatever reason you happen to get the trekking pole and when you clamp this down and you push on it or add some weight to it, it slides a little bit, well, you can adjust the tension by just adjusting this little screw here. You don't actually need any tools, you just take your fingers and tighten it down. Now, I will also mention that you do this when it is in the open position. See, now I notice it's moving now. While it wasn't moving before, that's because I tightened it down. So it's really easy to adjust these if you are in the field. Let's talk about weight for a moment. The total weight of each pole is 7.5 ounces or 200 grams. So I did neglect to mention that this is actually my first set of trekking poles. So I cannot let you know if this is an acceptable weight. That's kind of something that you have to determine for yourself. I was kind of always one of those hikers that laughed at people who had trekking poles. I feel sorry for saying that now because as I get older, I've come to find the advantage of trekking poles and the fact that they actually take a lot of the abuse off your knees. So to any and all of you who I might have made fun of, I am deeply sorry. Trekking poles are very useful. So the other part of this particular trekking pole is the fact that it is made of 80% carbon fiber. What that does is allow for it to have a light weight, but also be shock absorbing. Now, there is no spring shock absorber in this. And again, like I said, this is my first trekking pole. So take my commentary with a grain of salt. While these might be my first trekking poles, I did use them for an entire hiking season during the summertime. So about 3.5 months worth of use going out. So They are extremely lightweight. Shock absorbing wise, I did notice that there is still some residual vibration through the shaft itself. I can't tell how bad that is compared to other poles, but just know that there still will be some vibration. Now, mainly where I was hiking, it's kind of in rockier terrains, which is why I have the end cap on there instead of the actual carbide bit. So just letting you know, it wasn't enough to really hurt my arms or anything, but it was noticeable when I thwacked a rock with it a little harder than I should have. So coming up to the top portion here, this is all lovely foam rubber, which does absorb sweat very well, but it also offers a very cushioned grip. Now, I do have small little girly hands, but I'll give you an idea just what that looks like. Likewise, you do have an adjustable wrist strap. You've kind of got your standard nylon on the outside, but in here you've got this nice, I'm going to say rubber, well, it's not foam, but it is a soft material which absorbs sweat very nicely, because especially if you're going out on some 90-degree days, you kind of need a little sweat absorption. It is completely adjustable. If we come up there, you can either shorten the length or make it longer as needed. And there, I'm just quickly kind of throwing it in there, show you what that looks like. The top here is a rubberized material, so you can put your hand on that and not have any problems. Didn't really have too much slippage, and I say too much because while this is a rubberized top, it's not really super grippy. They kind of have it perforated a little bit so that sweat doesn't hang out there too much, but just know it does get a little slippy right from here to the top. So all this kind of plastic bit, you get a little traction there, but here and here you'll kind of slip a little bit. But you have the nice foam rubber here, which doesn't slip and offers you excellent cushioning. So coming all the way back to the bottom, as you can see there, like I said, I did do an entire summer hiking season with them, and where I go, it's more mountainous and rocky. So taking off the little end cap here, you will see, if I can get it to focus, there we go, little carbide tip there. As far as I know, this is not replaceable or removable unless you pry this off and then replace this whole bit here. So wouldn't recommend that, but just know that this portion probably is not replaceable, which is why I was using the end cap, because the end cap, well, you can buy an end cap anywhere. So you did notice that it's just a slip-on end cap, so keep that in mind. This particular cap is not a screw-on. However, when you actually have it on and are hiking, I've clipped it with my boots several times and it doesn't really come off. Now I'm going to put the pole down for one moment to show you the other end caps that you get with this particular trekking pole. All right, so here we have the other three options that come with the trekking pole. You have these little plastic, because they're not really rubberized, curved and ribbed walking parts. So this would mainly be if you were going to use them kind of like as walkers on asphalt. Again, they're sturdy. These guys just slip on. There is no screw for these particular options. Next up here, we've got soft but still plastic. It's somewhat pliable. These screw on. Now these are mud because you got a little rivets there. So if I come over to the pole, it both slips on, but then once you get to here, can screw on. So what this does is keep your stick, if you're not using one of the little footies, or even if you are using one of the little footies, it keeps it from sinking too far in. So this is for wet or mud terrain. Now I can grab the little footie here and slip it on. So you can use both, but just keep in mind that this part slips on and off while this part screws on and off. Now the same can be said of the one that's above it. Now this is for snow, so slightly wider footprint. It will again screw on to the base of the trekking pole to give you a wider stance so that the pole does not sink. Now as I said, I did this during a summer hiking season, so I have not had a chance to test the snow feet. I did not have to utilize the mud feet at all, again, because of where I tend to go. It's more rocky and less worrying about grass and mud, so didn't really get to test that, and I didn't want to go walking on asphalt because I got the trekking poles for going out in the woods. So keep in mind, they should work. I can't say that they do, but just in theory and principle and seeing them in other trekking poles, it's pretty similar. They're going to work as they're supposed to. Now, weight-wise, they're not terribly heavy, so if you want to keep these in your pack so that you can interchange them as needed, I would recommend that. Hey, that's what I did too, so just this is what you get with it. All right, so last but not least, price. For these particular trekking pole set, you're looking to be spending about $40 unless you find it on sale on Amazon or elsewhere. Realistically, for a starter set of trekking poles, if you're unsure if you actually want to use trekking poles like I was, which I still highly recommend that you do, if you're just looking for a starter set, this to me was a really, really good starter set. I probably will get a couple seasons out of these before I determine if I want to actually go to a more expensive set. But if you're looking for a good starter or even just, you know, a good trekking pole in general, I highly recommend the Ohuhu, again, weird name, 80% carbon fiber, quick lock anti-shock trekking pole. I know that's a little bit of a mouthful, but all in all, it actually is a really good pole. So I have been Wanderer 001. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.